discuss valve train geometry and why do we need to think about it and what is it. Valve train geometry, the best I can understand it, has to do with how the valve rocker meets the valve itself. If it doesn't hit dead center on the valve stem, then it actually pushes or pulls on the valve a little bit, which is going to cause your seals to leak and your valve guides to wear out. Now if you're going back with a stock engine, all the same parts, same heads, same rockers, all that, you don't have to worry about it. You're set. It's there. It should be right. Now if you change the heads, if you go into an aluminum head, you go into a Vortec head, you're going to have to do some figuring. Now, how do we figure this? Well, first off, you got to figure out where you're hitting now. And I'm going to do this using a stock rocker arm, a stock push rod, and a nut that has the right size threads on it, and a Sharpie. And we will see how that, oh, and I'm going to use a little bit of alcohol too to clean the oil off to make sure it doesn't smear the Sharpie. And we will show you what happens. Now the first order of business is to clean the two surfaces that you're going to use the Sharpie on. And I like to use alcohol because it doesn't leave much residue around. Clean that up first, the valve stem, and then clean the rocker off. And yeah, I've been bleeding a little bit. If you don't mind it, I won't either. And you take a Sharpie, there we go. Now it's painting. Nice and black. And we're going to give that a few seconds to dry before we put the rocker arm on here. Now this is a stock push rod, and I'm already down on the valve. It's at the bottom of its travel. You put the rocker arm on there with its little pivot bearing. And this is a good time to note on how to adjust valves. And you can see how much thread is there exposed. I mean, it's a lot. See if I can speed this up. Now if you notice, I didn't use a lock nut, it's just a nut. Okay, it's touching. Now when you're adjusting valve lash, you grab the push rod and you should be able to spin it. And without having the wrench all the way down on the rocker, you want to bring it up a little bit off the rocker. Alright, and start tightening. And you got, and it quits turning right there. So now I'm going to go a half turn beyond that. Your valve is set. You don't have to worry about it no more. Now, we can do this without ever going any further. Let me rework the camera here. Not the greatest cameraman alive, but if you can look here, there's a gap. the rocker arm is actually riding on the top of this. There's no chance for it to ever get adjusted. Now Fel-Pro makes this little gadget, and best I can tell they only come with two different size holes in here, 3/8 and 5/16. This is meant to sit flush on the valve stem, and as you can see here, there's quite a bit of play in there, okay? Now, my fella could buy one of these and take your feeler gauges and figure out where you're at, okay? And I've already figured that out. It's 0.156 difference, okay? But there's other methods that I'm going to show you also, but I have to wait on an adjustable push rod from Summit Racing. Okay, now measuring your push rod, you may want to go buy a caliper or borrow one from a friend. This rod is 7.7955, and if you add that to what we had on our feeler gauges, it brings us up to 7.9515. And we will see how close that came to the other methods that I am going to show you. I bought an adjustable push rod, and I used my mics to bring it out to the size that I think it should be, and from the looks of things, it's dead on. Now, what does an adjustable push rod look like? Well, it looks a whole lot like a push rod, except it has nuts on it and screws to where you can adjust it in and out. Now, they come in different lengths. You'll have to measure your old one and decide what length you need, but you just screw it in, screw it out to whatever size you think you need, and you got it done. Now, when it comes time to actually adjust the valves on a new engine, there's a couple different ways to do it. You have the 0 mark on your harmonic balancer. Put it on 0 and make sure you're on the firing stroke, and you can adjust number 1, both of them. And there are ways to go through and adjust various intake and exhaust valves throughout the whole system, and then rotate it 180 out and do the ones that were left behind to adjust the valves. Now, my harmonic balancer has 90-degree marks all the way around, so I'm going to rotate it 90 and just go through the firing order to adjust mine.